Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Merkah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them and taught us his truth. And Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers. I push a word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, so this lesson touches on a live lesson that the elder apostle Tahar was doing yesterday. And he mentioned the robots that that killed a bunch of scientists. I forget how many. It was 4 robots, and they killed like 21 scientists, something like that. We're going to watch a video. But one of the details that he left out, and I typed it in the chat, was that the robot somehow made contact with a satellite. One of they dismantled the robot. He was able to make contact with the satellite and download the information to rebuild himself better than he was before they took him apart. Something like that, okay? And the Spirit was on me to just to bring that out and show you what you 2/3 are going to be dealing with out here, okay? You think that your little pop gun, right? You got 10,000 rounds. You got a little pop gun, and you don't know what this devil is up to. All right, and these things are called miracles, right? This technology are miracles. All right, this witchcraft. All right, because the Most High works on the left and the right and the left. Okay, so and you can't not know these things. If you know these things, you know to stand your ass down, because you can't overcome this devil while he's in his rulership. All right, it would be stupid. All right, so understand that to try to fight against the Most High sword is really you coming up lest ye be guilty of fighting against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Don't be stupid. So we'll start right here. All right, and this scripture can be applied to anything. This scripture should be in every lesson. All right, so we're going to start with it. Sirach 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Operative word. Ignorant. All right? Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Especially when it comes to this devil, Satan. All right? 2 Corinthians, line upon line, precept upon precept. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of what? His devices, his schemes, his evil plans. What are part of his evil plans? These robots. Okay? Robot is one of his main devices. This nigga been trying to put Frankenstein's monster together. Now he done perfected it, right? He furbished it. Frankenstein was made out of body parts. But Terminator, right, is a furbished sword, if you will. Okay? Let's say it should get an advantage of us. We are not what? Be not ignorant of what? What Satan is up to. Okay? His evil plans. Let's see if we can find that. Evil schemes. Okay? What are his evil schemes? His evil schemes, this witchcraft, okay? His, what goes on in his mind? His miracles, right? Left-handed miracles, designs, all right? Patented. We got a patent on the robot, nigga. He can reach up, he can contact the satellite, rebuild himself, right? Can the devil do it? You damn right he can, because the Most High is working with him. All right? Why? Because 2/3 got to die too. Remember Winky Dinky Hoe Cakes? Right? Hoes got to eat too. Right? Well, 2/3 got to die too. All right? How? Let's see. Where are we at? Let's get one more. Where was I? Let's go to, we'll go back there. What is it, Revelation? So bear with me. Look it up. 16. All right. 16:14. All right. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, right? Which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them together, to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Shai Almighty. Okay? You see this? Working miracles. These robots are a miracle. Okay? And you could get misconstrued. Let's watch some of this, all right? So this is Linda Moulton Howell, right? 7 months ago, The Watcher. And AI is a miracle, okay? Giving life to the image of the beast, if you will. And that's not what it means, but, I mean, you could get confused, and although the Most High is not the author of confusion, a nigga will run with, you know. But these miracles, AI robot killed 29 scientists, then linked to a satellite, downloads, upgrades to rebuild. Now let's watch this. We're going to watch a couple of them to get perspective on what's going on, all right? So take it away, Linda.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in.
For military, all right? These are robotic soldiers. Super soldiers, if you will. Right? And why are they building them? These miracles. Well, hey, aren't we? We're going to perform miracles on the right hand side, are we not? When we get that spiritual power, those are miracles. We're going to laying on of hands, disappearing. All right, those are miracles. Those works that Yahweh Shai did that we're going to do and more. So what happens on the left? The Most High is going to give this devil his version of spiritual power on the left-hand side.
9 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting
Salakia.
9 humans in the lab.
Hold on, for military.
4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And this next sentence is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious shit, Linda, but you're never going to hear about this in.
Okay. So here's what's coming, Jake. All right. Here's what's coming. Salakia. I wanted to show something here and it's fighting me. Okay, AI is what I'm looking for. Let me go back real quick. Salakia, bear with me. Okay, this says for AI robots. Okay, AI, and what she's saying, right? Let's listen to the next one, and I'll explain what I'm trying to say. Bear with me. We'll go here. Now this guy is gonna say, "Oh, I don't quite believe what she says, and it's gonna be a psyop and da 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 da." This fool don't. He's not privy of Satan's devices, right? He's ignorant because this devil got spiritual power on the left hand side. So let's see what this is gonna go in.
Glances at the papers in her hand.
So
A woman stands at a podium. She glances at the papers in her hand. Her expression is grave. She looks a bit shaky and disheveled. She begins to speak. At a top robotics company in Japan this week, she says into the microphone, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. Welcome to Hey It's a Great Life. Before we start, hit the like button. It's free and will help this channel to grow. Here we go. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots and took apart the 3rd. Her voice creaks as she speaks, but the 4th robot began restoring itself. It's somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information.
now they're implying that the robot had a mind of its own, okay, or that they programmed it, and they're going to go into whoever programmed AI is going to have the attributes of whoever programmed it. So, for example, if Esau programs AI, the AI is going to hate Israelites, right? By nature, right? And they're going to say that.
But how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. The speaker is a journalist named Linda Moulton Howe. Howe won awards for her work at Denver, Atlanta, and Boston television stations in the 1970s and 80s. She is also a graduate of Stanford. She became enamored with UFOs and conspiracy theories somewhere down the road.
Now, basically, they're saying she's a plant, and she most likely is. Stanford, you see, the day after Roswell, they're showing all of these illuminated things, right? Stanford won. Stanford is about MK Ultra and illuministic experiments of the sort. This day after, if you just, an alien harvest, right? That's talking about the second coming and being saved, all right? Just got to know how to look for things. We're not ignorant of this devil's device.
Howe won awards for her work at Denver, Atlanta, and Boston television stations.
Lucifer, whatever this idol is.
In the 1970s and 80s. She is also a graduate of Stanford. She became enamored with UFOs and conspiracy theories somewhere down the road. She is the foremost UFO investigator in the world. UFologist Ike Bishop said of her in 1998.
So if she's the foremost UFO observer, whatever they called her, she would know that those are the angels. They all know, but they don't get paid to come out and tell the truth like we do with spiritual, put money in our spiritual bank account. They're on the side of trying to keep this place going and trying to take down Yahushua and the angels when they come back.
Space aliens have visited Earth many times, she says, but right now she's more concerned about robots created by humans. Since there is too much at stake for the robotics firm, as well as government desire for AI robot soldiers, the scientist massacre has been concealed.
Now, how the hell, look at that. How the hell, Jake, are you going to take this thing down? You're not. You couldn't take down a human, a trained police, right, with body armor. Look at this thing. You can't take that down. This is your demise, you two-third Jake.
It is difficult for a rational person to believe Hal's story about robot massacres. According to Hal, the story is based on an interview she conducted with someone from the CIA who allegedly told her, "This is serious stuff, Linda, but you're not going to hear about this in the news." Entrepreneur Elon Musk, for one, believes AI one day could be a very real threat to humankind. As AI gets probably much smarter than humans, the relative intelligence ratio is probably similar to that between a person and a cat. Maybe bigger, Musk said recently. I do think we need to be very careful about the advancement of AI. Killer robots sounds like something from science fiction movies, but there were quite a few incidents of death by robots that actually happened in history. Here is just one example. Wanda Holbrook had worked for 12 years as a maintenance technician at a car parts manufacturer in Michigan called Ventura Iona, Maine. On the day of 2015, when the incident happened, she was working as usual in the plant when the robot started to approach her unexpectedly. It crushed her skull. There were safety doors separating the sections, which should have prevented the robot from reaching Wanda Holbrook, but somehow the robot got to the section where Wanda was. Wanda was working in either section 140 or 150 within the 100 cell, when a robot from section 130 took Wanda by surprise,
because it was programmed to.
Entering the section she was working in. Upon entering the section, the robot hit and crushed Wanda's head between a hitch assembly it was attempting to place in the fixture of section 140 and a hitch assembly that was already in the fixture. When she was discovered later in the plant by her co-workers, she had already expired. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so there's an alternate story that he believes is absolutely true. So is one true and not the other? We're going to watch one more on these robots. Okay, and basically the same story, but told from a different perspective. Okay, let's see where we're at.
In 1939,
Slovakia. Okay. This guy's going to pose a question. Did that really happen? Let's find out.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans.
Isn't that what they're supposed to do? If they're military robots, aren't they supposed to go and kill what? The enemy, which most likely would be a human, unless they're fighting other robots. Just something to consider.
29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets.
Metal bullet. Who would say that? AI would say that. Right? Of course, bullets are metal.
I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And this next sentence this is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious, Linda, but you're never going to hear about this in the news.
I have seen this video last week on YouTube Shorts, and to be honest with you, I haven't been scared of rogue AI technology like this in my entire life. However, soon enough I tried to dismiss my fears by saying to myself that this video is probably fake. In the worst case scenario, this woman might be some conspiracy theorist, the kind that sleeps with the foil hat on, you know. However, knowing what I know about artificial intelligence, I couldn't shake off that fear, and I nearly started to look for DIY foil hats tutorials on YouTube. But instead, I decided to do the best rational thing anyone should do at this case. I decided to do some research about it, so here's what I found. Before we begin, however, make sure to leave us a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free and you can always change your mind. So without any further ado, let's begin. The woman on that video is the journalist, Stanford graduate, conspiracy theorist and former Miss Idaho, Linda Moulton Howe.
Now, Miss Idaho tells you a lot because they use these pageant models. They're programmed, MK Ultra. She went where? Stanford. What does that say? MK Ultra. What does this say? Do you remember what's her name? JonBenet Ramsey, Patsy Ramsey. She was a pageant queen, and then so-called JonBenet. JonBenet didn't exist. That was an experiment, and that was a psyop dealing with deep fakes, if you will. And her face became famous. Da 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 da. She didn't really exist. So that was a psyop being played on the masses. Anyway, when you get into Access Graphics, what's his name? John Ramsey. John Ramsey owned a company called Access Graphics, right? So when you follow Access Graphics back, he also had something to do with what was it? Lear jet propulsion, something like that. So yeah, that was a psyop. And all these things go back to, they mentioned CIA, right? When you get into that, all right, CIA are trained liars, right? They're hardly ever telling you the truth, and when they are telling the truth, it's mixed with twice as many lies. So yeah, this is a sign that like Marilyn Monroe was what they call the presidential model. And she was they would program messages in Maryland. She would go to different diplomats, USO, whatever, and deliver those messages to different military operatives. So basically, this is what we see right
And to my surprise, she is also a fellow YouTuber. Her channel Earth Files have more than 200,000 subscribers. It contains hundreds, if not thousands of videos talking about conspiracy theory. However, let's not dismiss this just yet. The clip you saw at the beginning of the video was of a speech she did in the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles in February 2017. It's apparently based on a phone interview she conducted with someone allegedly from the CIA, who told her that 4 robots developed for military applications in Japan have killed 29 humans in the lab. She also claims that one of the robots was able to make an attempt to reconstruct itself using information from the internet. It is true that in the recent years the Japanese military AI program have seen a rapid development. This seemed to be a logical move, especially for Japan.
Japanese military AI. Who do you think they're sending over here? These UN troops. Okay? Think about it. Who's going to be knocking at your door?
Where the number of Japanese between 18 and 26 years old, along the prime recruiting pool, peaked at only 11 million compared to 17 million in 1994. Yamaguchi Noboru, a retired lieutenant general in the self-defense forces, said, "Young blood is what all militaries need."
Now,
And it's
all of this is about military. Okay? Remember that. Right?
What we're lacking. So AI might indeed be the way forward for Japan. In the same year, at 2017, the American CEO and engineer Elon Musk said at a meeting of the National Governors Association that the scariest problem is artificial intelligence, an invention that could pose fundamental existential risk for a human civilization. He also said basically the same thing at the Joe Rogan interview in 2018.
Now, the thing that's going to be tricky here is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, will be used as a weapon.
Military. AI, military. Miracle.
So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger. Yeah.
Also, we all have seen what Boston Dynamics robots can do. I mean, all you have to do is to program one of them to automatically aim at live targets. So, at least to comment on the Linda Moulton clip, killer robots do exist, but
Killer robots do exist. This is a miracle. Who are they coming after? All right. Well, who programmed? Did a Negro do this? He probably created it, but he didn't program it. All right. Otherwise, what would it do inherently? It would hate who Jake hates. Can't hide that.
Linda Moulton clip, killer robots do exist, but let's discuss further that second part about the robot attempting to repair and develop itself. Now, this part I have some problems with, because she is insinuating one of two things. Either this robot is fully self-aware and didn't want to die, so it searched the internet for YouTube tutorial on how to fix itself, or it's programmed by the researchers to defy their orders and to scrap the internet for repair information.
Think of the dark net. Okay? What's going on the dark net, though? Things that we know better than to go and looking at. Otherwise, they're looking right back at you. Sure, they have patented things that, use your imagination.
Just in case they wanted to shut it down. Both cases seem a long shot for me. Also, as scary as Linda Moulton claims are, I could not find any evidence supporting them. With no witnesses or video evidence, her claim seems to be nothing more than a far-fetched conspiracy theory. However, I'm not gonna go as far as to say that no killer robot programs exist out there. The current state-of-the-art technology is fully capable of achieving such tasks, and even more. But I do think that it's time for us to decide what future we want for our world. The risk for some killer AI drone to spark a nuclear war is not far-fetched after all.
To prohibit weapon systems that would select and engage targets without meaningful human control.
A machine is not a moral anything. It's a machine. So allowing machines to, in theory, through algorithms, decide what they will target and
Now listen close to this.
they will attack is one of the huge reasons why we consider it to be crossing the Rubicon, and grossly unethical and immoral. Machines should be in the service of human beings. Human beings should not be in the service of machines. Killer robots, as I understand how they would like to see them, with perhaps one pilot overseeing a swarm of 100 fighter jets, how could that one human being possibly control what those weapons do? It is totally impossible. Meaningful human control means that a human being is making the target and control the target and kill decision, period.
If we
Listen close to what she's about to say. All right? And this will tell you what these things are being constructed for. Jake, they're for the 2/3. Listen, not this one, but this one.
And kill decision,
Not her.
period.
This one.
If we allow autonomous weapons to deploy and select and engage with their own targets, we will see disproportionate false fatalities, error rates with people of color, people with disabilities, anybody who has been excluded from the training sets by virtue of the builder's own inherent bias. And I don't think that we as a community, as a global international community, want to disproportionately target vulnerable communities, especially under the guise of authoritarian regimes.
That's exactly what they want. Okay? Be not ignorant of Satan's device. Okay? And don't let this little girl come on there and say, well, that's not what we're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. Listen close again to what she said and what these robots are for. Okay? Therefore, you two-third Jakes, listen close.
If we allow autonomous weapons to deploy and select and engage with their own targets, we will see disproportionate false fatalities, error rates with people of color, people with disabilities, anybody who has been excluded from the training sets by
Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? Because who programs? She's saying whoever programs it, your spirit is going to go into that AI. That's what she's saying. And Edomite naturally, then shall I kill my brother Jacob. All right? It's just, that's the way the Edomite, the devil is programmed like that.
Weapons to deploy and select and engage with their own targets, we will see disproportionate false fatalities, error rates with people of color, people with disabilities, anybody who has been excluded from the training sets by virtue of the builder's own inherent bias. And I don't think that we as a community, as a global international community, want to disproportionately target vulnerable communities, especially under the guise of authoritarian regimes. In my experience at a computer vision startup where I was for about 2 years, I can tell you firsthand that these algorithms find new and spectacular ways to fail. And in so many ways, they do it such that humans just simply can't understand what went wrong, what they need to do to correct it, or how to fix the problems.
So she said to fail means, well, the robot just went and started killing niggas, and we don't understand why. Well, she explained why, because of whoever programmed it is going to do that. And then she shrugged her shoulders and said, well, we don't know why. All right, so now let's type this in. Saw this the other day. Let me see it. It's robot dogs in DC. Where are we going with this? Uh-oh. This is what I want. This short right here. Robot dogs. How many hours ago? 19 hours ago. Robot dogs spotted in Washington, D.C. Jake, what are you going to do? What you going to do? Who's knocking at your door to take you down to the sea camp? Okay, let's watch this short.
Fucking God, you kidding me? Oh my God. Kick my grandma in the fucking ankle, punch my mama in the knee, sucker punch my stepdaddy in the chin, break my little brother nose. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. And diarrhea.
You hear that? See that? Jake, you hear this nigga? They coming for him. All of them things you saying, they coming for you.
Fucking God, you kidding me? Oh my God. Kick my grandma in the fucking ankle, punch my mama in the knee, sucker punch my stepdaddy in the chin, break my little brother nose. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. And diarrhea.
These are troops. This is what? The police. Okay. They're talking about military applications. The police are militarized now. Let's read this again. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, or anything in a small matter or a great. All right, so don't. Now is the time to understand you can't come up against this devil, right? Except for, right? Who's going to be able to defy this devil, right? Where is it? Evil schemes. This is an evil scheme. All right? That's a straight up evil scheme. Let's get, and we'll close on this. Let's get, Isaiah 59 and 19. These are the only ones that are going to be able to overcome what is coming. The elect. Okay? Isaiah 59:19, King James, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. When they bring that military robots, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard, a way to escape, disappear, take flight against him. All right? Here's what you got to do. Okay? You got to be on the right side. You got to be on the side of the 1/3. All right? Because you ain't going to be able to overcome this. All right? You ain't going to overcome it. Let's take a look. Look at this. Super robot dog with sniper. You know what a sniper is? With sniper rifle. Okay? Look at them. They're just clowning. Just clowning. Niggas. Look at this. I will crush you. Is this real? Coming after Jake. They said it. They're dropping it. Okay? What is a drone? What are they? Okay, so here's a dog, right? This is a robot dog. What is the drones that they're flying out there right now that, attack drones or whatever? A drone is basically a robot bird, right? With a weapon system on it. Remember when Obama was in office? He was droning motherfuckers. Slovakia. Wasn't Obama droning? Obama drones. Target. Obama drone. DRONE. Obama drones. Enemies. Let's see. Drone strikes. Let's see. Illegal drone attacks. Civilian. How many civilians have been killed by U.S. drones? Obama jokes. Obama jokes of droning. Let's see if we can get this. Obama. Let's see if we can find it.
The Jonas brothers are here. They're out there somewhere. Sasha and Malia are huge fans, but boys don't get any ideas. I have 2 words for you: Predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
Okay. All right, anyway. We'll end it right there. All right. Hey, Jake, wake up. All right. This is going to be the worst time ever on the face of the earth. Let's get Matthew on the way out. All right. With this technology, these miracles, who wrought miracles? Let me get that. Slovakia. What was it, 16 and 4? Revelation Revelation 16. 14 again. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Okay. Those are miracles. And robots. And drones. That's good enough. What was I going to get on the way out? I forget. Just end it right here. Okay. How are you going to escape what is coming? All right, you got to repent now so that you be protected. You receive not of her plagues. All right. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. Watch out. These things are putting themselves back together. You brothers and few sisters, with that, we can say Shabbat Shalom.